Okie dokie. Alright, we're going to give this a try. Again here. Look, I'm going to make this easy on Sam, too. I'm not going to make her edit that part out of the podcast. Let's just start over. Okay, hello. It's Mallory Donahue, host of the Self-Sewn Wardrobe podcast and live broadcast. And this broadcast originally appeared as a live broadcast in our Facebook group. So if you're listening to this via podcast, check out the group. Hey to Amanda and Samantha, I hope that the feed is working better this time. I guess I had a little bit of a false start. It's looking good on my end. So anyway, hi Kim and Faith and Fred. Okay, Fred says it's fixed. And you know what, Fred, I'm glad you're here. Oh, I'm glad Lonnie's here too, of course, because I'm going to hem my leggings today. Ha ha ha. And I just want you all to bear witness to the fact that I am doing so. It's also a really great opportunity for me to show you all that you don't have to have a free arm in order to get into a small space. So yeah, Fred, I am gonna actually hem my leggings. She says lies. No, look, I've got 2 pins in here. I didn't do one leg beforehand, which I probably should have done. Sam says I'm hemming them just to take her joy away from making me do it. That might be right. You might be right, Sam. So anyway, so I'm glad the feed is fixed. But here's the deal. We're working on our leggings class, and I am very glad that we're doing this because I drafted this pair of leggings. If you haven't seen, podcast listeners especially, because we didn't record this as a podcast, but Sam and I went live during our little testing session earlier this week, and it was pretty funny because I made a mistake and used Sam's pattern instead of my own. It was just really hilarious, and but I was really happy after I actually made the pattern that was drafted for me, because I put it on and it fit me so nicely, and my body's changing a lot right now. I guess I'm 18 weeks pregnant. I can't remember how many weeks along I am. But anyway, so my belly is getting bigger. In fact, it was hard to cut out the leggings. It's getting a little hard to move around. I was just like a minute late to my first attempt at this live broadcast because I was trying to like move around, and I was like, this is taking me longer, and like my stomach's in the way and stuff, and it has arrived. Yeah, Lonnie says hi, Jerome. Yeah, baby's name is Jerome. We told Zelda the baby's name last night, and then this morning I said, you know, we've been kind of talking about the baby. She's only 2. I don't really know how much of this she's gonna like, you know, understand completely, but there's a baby, you know, in Mama's belly. And so I said, where's the baby? And she'll go, right there, and, you know, point at my belly. And I said, what's the baby's name? She's Baby Jum. So it's pretty freaking cute that she got that. Oh, Betsy says I have that problem, but I'm not pregnant. I totally, yes. It's like when you are going through the process of like losing or gaining weight for whatever reason in your life, you're like, man, you know, it'd be really great if I was just in better shape. Like, I remember when I was trying to do pull-ups when I did CrossFit for a long time, I was like, well, this would be easier if I was like 15 pounds slimmer, you know? So anyway, okay, so here's the deal about a free arm, and this is something that's we're gonna do more videos about this. We're going to talk about this on a podcast. I'm sure this is one of ZD's big things that she talks about, and the fact that a lot of people think that they must have a free arm all the time in their sewing, and you don't always have to have one. And in fact, even if you have one, sometimes the tube that you're using, or that you're sewing, it doesn't always fit around that free arm anyway. So I'm on this Baby Lock Ovation here that's got this pretty flat bed, and normally where we have it is in the serger station that gives me like a longer table area anyway. So, you know, if you have an extension table on your sewing machine or something like that, this is a similar application. A lot of times people will call those extension tables, you know, like quilting tables or something, but I love to have a big surface, you know, to my left, so that I can, you know, have my project supported, okay? So I am going to show you that you don't need to have the free arm. You know, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, on your sewing machine, you might have like an accessory case on your machine that you can slide off, and then, you know, there's that free arm, and a lot of people think about like putting a pair of jeans over it, you know, to run through in order to hem their pants or something like that. So this is something very similar, but here I am with this little legging opening, and these are exercise leggings. They're for me. You know, even for an adult, the bottom of a legging is going to be pretty small. It's just not going to be very large. And so you wouldn't be able to fit it around a free arm anyway, okay? The other thing is you, oh, Mom just joined. She says, oh my God, I have a good feed on my phone. Yay, I'm glad. It's one of your favorite things, Mom. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about this. So what you do, now this is a little bit of a strange application here. I want to preface demonstrating this technique by saying you should, on like a pair of jeans or any kind of woven fabric or something like that, you really need to top stitch from the right side of the fabric, okay? So when I do hem on a pair of jeans that I can't fit around a free arm, or I don't even worry about that or anything, I'll sometimes turn them inside out. Now, I'm doing a little bit of a funny application here. We're doing a reverse cover stitch, okay? So we want to see the loopy loops on the right side of our fabric. So this is a little, it's like a reverse of a reverse, because normally if you were going to do the cover stitch like the right way, like the traditional way, you'd actually turn your garment inside out so that you could access the right side of the garment like this. And I am going to turn my back to you a little bit, but I think you'll be able to see the machine. So I'll just be checking, making sure that you can see me, and I am going to hem this. The other thing I don't have on the machine right now that I would normally have is the knee lift. And so that's why we're going to do a little bit more formal video on this subject, so that you can really see how we really like to do it instead of how we do it when we're trying to like be in front of a camera. So the knee lift is so excellent for this. Oh, maybe I could have fit it on here. I'm just gonna torture myself, okay? So anyway, Kim says, I find the serger foot can be too long when serging in the round something that is narrow like leggings. Well, if the foot's too long, see if you can get a shorter foot for your machine, but it definitely is still going to be shorter than any possible free arm that would be on a serger. So it's kind of like, you know, you might be between a rock and a hard place there, Kim. I understand. Okay, I'm going to get some thread tails out here and put my fabric under, and I'll turn the serger towards you again. Boop. See why I like to have a nice big long extension table so that my leggings aren't falling off? Ah. Okay, so I think that you guys, I need to move the machine a little bit so you can see this better. Do you see how I have the leggings kind of around the presser foot? Okay, so I have them like that. Actually, I'm gonna get up and move my table a little bit. Maybe I'll get on the other side. This is fun. There we go. Can you all see what I'm seeing here? So I've got the leggings kind of like stretched out around there. Okay. And I just adjust as I go along, so you all see I mean, this is a pretty small opening here, and I've done this for itty bitty little baby leggings before too. I've you know, fit in a pretty small hunk there, and you know, honestly, on the, at least on the Baby Lock, you know, that's the machine, at least and the Serger brand that I have the most experience with the little baby leggings. Even if I had to slightly stretch it to get it around the foot a little bit, it then, you know, it looked fine afterwards anyway, okay? So I was worried the first time I did this on a little pair of baby leggings. I thought, I'm stretching it out. It's going to look awful. It's going to look wavy when I'm finished. But it didn't. It didn't look wavy at all when I was finished. So I really liked that. I don't want to say, oh, you'll be able to stretch something out on your serger and it'll be fine, because it can distort the fabric, but I know that on my Baby Lock it's A-okay. And here we go. So I just got around completely in got around my legging hem completely. So you don't have to you know, worry about trying to like stretch this legging, you know, around the entire body of your machine, okay? And see, this is how this works, okay? It's very like that. But Kim says, so she has a brother. She says, I can search to see if brother has a smaller foot. I didn't realize that was a possibility. It's possible, maybe. Like, I'm not sure. But I mean, I did a size 2T little baby legging in a bamboo knit, and it was one of, actually, this is years ago, and it was one of the first times I'd ever used the cover stitch. I was kind of nervous because I wasn't very experienced at it. But then, like I said, I kind of just stretched it a little bit. So like this area above the foot I was stretching, and underneath, tried not to stretch it as much, like where I was sewing, okay? But then, you know, just fed it through slowly and got it. And you don't have to have, you know, the free arms. So check that out, Kim. There's a foot for the Baby Locks called, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, there's a foot for the Baby Locks called the curve foot. Glenda says, I'm confused. Is this also possible with the cover stitch setting, or does the Baby Lock Imagine have a foot I could use to hem? So, Glenda, you have an Imagine, and it's a 4-thread serger that only does overlocking and flat locking and stuff. This is the cover stitch function that you don't have on your machine. So if that's confusing, that may be why. So your machine doesn't have this table here. It only has the knife cover, so that's why it looks a little different from your machine. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of here. What I'm going to do is raise my needles, raise my presser foot, and get a little slack above my needles. So the slack above my needles then gets transferred below my fabric. I get to pull my fabric out, okay, and pull, and then I can actually cut from underneath. Oh, did I do that right? Yep. And my needle threads are underneath, okay? So a couple of you have been asking, you're like, oh, I don't have a cover stitch, okay, you know. And then ZD said, if something is really small, you can hem it before you seam it together. So now I don't want to leave myself with only one leg hemmed here, right? Like that would be silly of me to do. Okay, let me get this extra thread out of here. There we go. All right, and I'm going to do the other side. And I'm going to even move my camera a little more. I'm completely reversing my original camera angle and running into my spray bottles. Okay, here we go. So once again, getting on the inside here. So if you don't have a cover stitch, you might end up finishing your knits with a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine or a double needle or something like that. And this is absolutely still an applicable technique here. You just get your presser foot on your fabric, and like I said, normally, like if this was my twin needle on my sewing machine, you know, getting that, okay, you would turn your garment inside out so that you could be stitching from the right side, okay? Whoop, move that out of the way there. Okay. And was that, I can't see who said that, but somebody said commercial machines do not have a free arm. Industry often hems from the inside of the cylinder. Absolutely. So this saves time. You know, no one in a factory is like switching out, you know, and making themselves a free arm. This is how this is done. It's a time-saving technique. Obviously, it's nice to have support over to the left of your machine, you know, for a bulky garment or even not too bulky of a garment. So this is definitely like a valid, you know, technique that we have going on here. All right, I'm getting to the end. Oh, why do I not hem things? It doesn't take very long, does it? Okay, raise my needles up. Raise my presser foot. You can get some slack from above your needles. What this is doing is it's saving me time in the future. I'm not having to actually bring the my needle threads back through after I release it from the machine. So if I cut from underneath here, there we go, then my needle threads have been brought to the back. Actually, you know, I hadn't thought about this, but I'm doing the reverse cover stitch. I should have left it on. So anyway, this isn't the best demo for that, but I have two hemmed little cuffs here, so I just need to tuck my threads back through. Maybe I'll save that and Sam can force me to do that next time she's out here, okay? If that'll make you feel better, Sam. And yeah, so these are my leggings, and I do want to share that when I marked the hem for my leggings, I'll bring in another chair here. Tell you what I do when I mark the hem for my leggings. It's not the way like I traditionally mark woven, you know, pants. I like to kind of like put my foot up on a chair or something, okay, or even like move around a little bit, okay, and then see where that legging fabric kind of ends up, because a lot of us were talking about, and it made me feel really good, that we kind of like it when a little bit of fabric pools at the bottom of our ankle with the leggings. And so I'm glad that I wasn't alone in that I'm just not some crazy person. But a lot of times when you're wearing leggings, you know, you can be running, you can be stretching. You know, Mom and I go and do the aerial yoga, etc., and I don't mind if there's a little extra fabric down at my ankle, so that when I'm doing stuff, I get the coverage, right? Okay, on my foot. So that's my best leg extension at the moment. Probably gonna regret that later. So I definitely wanted, like, I don't mind if there's a little wrinkle down there. If it's something you don't like, you need to account for that. Sam, she said she likes to keep her leggings, you know, kind of like cropped. Yeah, so Karen says that's some snazzy leggings you have on today. Yeah, Mom made me these, and I think she got the fabric at Joann's. They had like a bunch of activewear there for a second. We don't have a very big Joann's in our town, and so they had some good activewear, and we were using some of it for testing the leggings pattern. And yeah, I really like these. It's kind of a slicker fabric, which is not something I'm always attracted to, but you know, it was fun, and I like it. So I'm very glad to have my modified leggings like pattern that I made for myself with the belly, because these are like cutting me right in the middle. I don't like it. I put them on this morning. I was like, oh, they're fine. You know, I can wear them to go do a couple things, but now I'm really looking forward to having some that actually fit me above the belly. So anyway, so you don't have to, just remember, you don't have to have a free arm in order to do small openings, okay, on your machine. It's not absolutely necessary, especially with a knit, okay? So you know, if you have a knit and you're working on a serger and you stretch it a little bit as you're sewing, that's okay, because that's what this stitch is meant to do. It's meant to stretch, okay? So anyway, I'm really excited. I need to go trim my threads, and I will have a nice pair of leggings to wear. And I'm really excited to make some out of the double brush poly, because even if they aren't workout leggings, I think they're going to be some excellent loungewear for me. And I need some loungewear, right? Everybody needs loungewear. Okay, well, I hope you get something sewn today. I got something sewn today, so everyone else, you have no excuse. I hemmed something, which everyone knows that I hate to do, okay? All right, I will see you all next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday for our live broadcast. Have a good day.